So I don't talk about My Hero a lot compared to other animes and manga. I cover on here, but don't get it twisted. As you can see from the top anime list, if that's out already, you know my love for this series, and I like it so much that I truly believe that My Hero is literally overhated, and I often find myself on the battlefield defending this show because it's my favorite. So, one of my favorites. Anyways, that's not what this video is about. This video is about the manga. So I've been reading the My Hero manga weekly for ever since season 4 or 3. Ever since I finished that season, I was reading the manga ever since the first war that happened and then beyond that. But I've been doing that for about like a good year or two now. I'm ashamed to admit this. I took a break during the final arc, and now hear me out. It's not because I started to fall off for me, because I remember I was stressing every week before that the fate of my beloved characters. But I think because y'all see this damn channel, man. I often took breaks on mangas because to do other manga content, watch other shows and stuff. And I think I just got left behind. I was like, I'm gonna catch up eventually, and then 7 weeks later or like 3 months later, I'm like, oh shit, I forgot, man. It's like now there's a whole bunch of chapters stacking up and stuff. But I remember I said, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna catch up on another, and it was to the point where I actually had to reread the whole war from the beginning, from the final arcs, and that's what I've been doing over the past month and a half. Boy, did it peak, man. Oh my god, let's talk about whoa. Alright, I'm going to get straight into the war, but I also want to add that the UA trader reveal, I want to talk about that because when it happened, I will admit, I was hoping it was somebody else. I still appreciate how the manga went into it, dive further into it, and also what they went into the character and added more character depth to Aoyama. And so I appreciate that, and leading up to it and the aftermath was pretty good, and low-key an underrated moment. And the way they executed it was nice. Alright, now on with the war, baby. Let's go. I remember this panel right here gave me the Avenger vibes, and it was a great kickoff to the war. Now, I'm not going to do every single moment in the war, but, I was doing a highlight and talk about my favorite moments along with the direction and the artwork and the analyzing some stuff as well, too. And as a whole, I feel like this is a big ass war, like where it's do or die time. Every fight will go down, will have high stakes. The character stories that are tied into the war will come to a halt or prevail even further. Tension grew and utter destruction occurred. But what I like about war arcs is I want to be amazed with multiple different factors, which some may be involving multiple parties joining in or starting the war, or others being like the utter destruction that it caused, and you could tell how the whole tone would change after a war arc or will conclude a story. I never want to feel like the whole war is pointless and nothing happened, and it has to affect the story in a major way like the first war arc did. And I appreciate that a lot. So the final one continued that, but this time we're in the end game now. So the war consisted of the same premise as the first one, except Shigaraki is 10 times stronger even more, and Off One enters the battle, along with the League of Villains, who have something to prove this time, because they are not holding back. Todoroki versus Dabi was a thing of beauty to read, and a great way to start the war. Every time they on screen, I'm like, damn. The writing and the character stories are so good. Endeavor's character continues to grow, which I love every bit of, and plus these panels captures how raw and how cold that nigga is, bro. And in general, the whole Shoto family soap opera drama was peak, and cause that level of storytelling is what I appreciate about My Hero. Literally a family of wrongdoings and mistakes coming together for their forgotten family member is beautiful. And over the time of watching this show, I realized that Shiggy easily is one of the best new gen villains in shonen. Because for context, in the beginning of My Hero, I swear I thought this nigga was a joke, and I hated his character. And then literally season 4 and 5, or mainly season 5 and 6, that nigga became so cold that I had nothing to do but respect it, you know what I'm saying? So I was happy when he was going off, well, not happy, I was hyped to see that he was going off, showing his barrage in the beginning of the war. However, I did not like fearing for my beloved characters, as I mentioned this earlier. Bro, throughout this arc, bro, Mirako, especially reading weekly. But yeah, Mirako, who I like to add, is a rabbit, but still got that dog in her. She literally lost another limb and has one ligament left, but she's still going crazy. She know how to throw down, bro. I love her so much. But I had to wait 2 weeks to see if my queen would live or not. Thank God she did, because, bro, I was going to lose it. But hell, not even just that. There were other characters that I was, scared of, from dying. Jiro, who's one of my favorite side characters in this show, almost got eviscerated by Off One, but you know what I'm saying? She landed an attack on that bitch ass nigga, and you know what I'm saying? What side character can who do that shit? Shut up, that doesn't count. Anyways, Todoroki, Sue, the big three, and the others, I thought they were all gonna die, and well, speaking of dying, Bakugo, bro, I remember reading the leaks I swear I almost passed out because I just couldn't believe what my eyes were seeing. What do you mean his heart stopped? When it happened, I thought he's definitely coming back, but Night Eye didn't. Midnight didn't. Then he thought, what if this is the part of Deku's story to become number one? And then I was like, oh god, it makes sense. It makes sense. No. I feel like there were dark moments, but when Bakugo died, I think everything shifted. Like, the tone got darker. It got surreal for the people that was in the war. Pro heroes were devastated. The students couldn't believe it. And don't even get started on Deku's reaction. Dude, thank God for Lemillion. Going back to the storytelling aspect, I like with the direction they went with by adding, some sort of backstory to a chapter, whether it's a character backstory or just a backstory to plan out an event, or even just a simple conversation. This either gives you the initial approach to a plan or expands upon a battle or event. And with this edition, it gives more meaning to the moments that happen. It hits the reader even more and leaves you that impact to it, especially with the Bakugo chapter, the big three, backstory, the Shoto family, One for All, and the whole thing. Even Off One face reveal was insane. The whole context behind that was interesting. Another thing that I love was the callback and return of characters throughout the story. Since it's a war and stuff, you got to end some things, but the way they do it, that shit was so hard, bro. And I love how Hori just doesn't forget about them and finds some way to write them in the story and in this war. Majority came back to help the kids. Others just came back to show their true power and just get involved. In fact, my favorite chapters this war so far was 378 and 379, mostly because the Goto returns and how they set them up in the story. Man, when I saw them late in the Gant, La Brava, Gentle Criminal, bro, I was so getting hype, bro. Like, dude, I had me jumping at my chair for a minute. I ain't gonna lie, that shit was so dope. I loved them seeing the early seasons, so when they saw them return, I couldn't stop yelling. It was pro heroes, misunderstood villains, or even students from the other schools showed up, and I love when this happens in war arcs. Literally, Marineford did this perfectly, which is my favorite war arc, if you didn't know, because they brought them characters from different backgrounds and placing them in one setting just to cause mayhem. Characters you expect to work together or even interact with each other are just there, and like, boom, there they are going crazy, bro. And it's so cool to see that to me, and that's what I felt when reading this arc in My Hero. And which I also want to praise the uniqueness of the side characters here. Now, not all My Hero characters are great. The cast sometimes feels too big, and some of the characters are just there just to be there. But you have to give credit to My Hero, just like some other animes will find a way to make them useful, whether it's just for one moment or a reoccurring thing. Could be a comedy moment, could be like a powerful moment, could be a stupid moment, but like they use them. Man, the way they had a role in this war, as they should, by the way. So many things I fuck with, such as like, Mina and Kirishima encounter this behemoth right here, Giganto, again, and Mount Lady getting a second chance to right her wrong, refusing to go down like she did last time. Also, my nigga Shinso had a clutch moment too. Shout out my nigga, man. One of my favorite side characters in the show, especially from the earlier seasons. Tokyomi went nuts per usual, and Sue didn't have like a prominent individual role this time. However, they were still there to help with their friends, and which I appreciate too. You got involved in somehow. Class 1B had a role, especially Monoma, who grew to be my favorite in the class. He was with the main villains, pissing them off, like, what the hell's going on? That's what you got to do. Ayoma Hakaguri, aka the Invisible Girl, had a nice cute moment. It was short but sweet. Tell me why though. Tell me why Lydia pictured Invincible Girl to look like this. I was pretty satisfied. And the side characters in this arc, I was pretty satisfied with too. But I gotta admit, as much as I said some positives, there are some little negatives and this is just how I feel. I gotta admit, the Shoji, Koda, and Spinner shit, I could care less for. I like that it was there and needed to be, give like a meaning to the characters and to the war and to society as a whole. But I'm sorry, I'm just not interested in those characters like that. Well, except for Shoji a little bit, but like at all those chapters, I felt them more like in season 3 than, like now, And for all the people that bitch about the Spinner scene in season 5 getting cut, I hope y'all was happy. Y'all better enjoy every bit of these chapters. Holy shit, y'all was annoying to that whole season. I'm sorry. So I talked about these things I liked about the war, and now I have to talk about my favorite moments that I would dare call peak fiction. Wait, hold on. Before I do, can we just appreciate the goatness of Hori's artwork? Like, dear God, bro, this shit is amazing. I literally enjoy reading this manga for so many reasons, but the artwork is literally a big factor for this year. Just imagine this shit was trash, bro. Oh my God. Oh boy, we not let that down because my hair already gets enough hate. But anyways, yeah, it's a big factor. The detail is incredible. You can follow along more with the action scenes in this manga, which is, it's hard doing other mangas. The heavy artwork makes the moment hit 10 times more. Alright, so mind you, I have a lot of moments where I like or even love, but these moments honestly blew me away. Now, I want to include the ones I mentioned earlier, like Bakugo's death, Shoto family conclusion, and also I kind of wanted to add this in there. It didn't even blow me away. Actually, it caught me hella off guard, but I forgot how this character is in earlier seasons. When Mirio showed, his butt to Shigaraki, tried to make him laugh, and then get through a hissy fit, man, that's... Oh, my hair, I tell you. But yeah, anyways, the Uraraka fight with Toga was one fight I was hyped to see ever since season 3. So when it happened in season 6, I was like, okay, they could finally scrap me. Well, when I read in the manga, like, all right, the fight I've been waiting for is finally here, and then it was hella short. So I was like, oh, damn, well, I wanted more from that, but I guess we'll see each other again, and boom, here we are, man. I don't care what no one say, bro. This fight delivered to me. What I loved about this fight so much is that this wasn't like a combat. It was a talk no jutsu at its finest. And as much people hate when this happens, it makes sense for these characters in this story. Uraraka can't just beat up or even kill her and just cause she can, because, she's a pro hero and stuff. That's against her character and her motto. But she wants to at least, try to save her because, well, hello, that's her character. Honestly, the conclusion to this fight is what made me feel defeated and sad because I like Toga a lot. She's top 4 villains for me behind Dabi, Shigaraki, and Stain. I don't think I mentioned this in the script, but nigga Stain came back in to help All Might. I'll get to that later, bro. But anyways, the fact that the Soul Society, the fact that this My Hero Society treated her like shit simply because she was born with a different mindset than others, it's kind of crazy, and like it made her feel like shit. She wanted to hurt. Now, was she evil? Sure, because she did some criminally activities, but I'll say this: her actions were wrong, but her heart was always pure. She simply loved and loved hard, and that is what Uraraka realized and saw in her character because, well, you know who Uraraka loved for a long time. But I love when Uraraka called her pretty, and like that smile from Toga, that was a pure smile right there, and she looked really happy. And then it made me cheese a little bit because, it was sweet. I'm a like slice of life. I love romance animes and manga, so of course I like when this happens. Uraraka saw the heart in Toga, and Toga finally found the true fan in Ochako, and it's fucking sucked what happened to her. Like, she wanted to save Ochako because, well, she kind of was laying a smackdown on her. But, like, she wanted to sacrifice her life because, well, she wanted to save a friend. And that was the end of her character. And but when I say it sucked, I'm saying, like, I'm not saying the moment sucked. I'm just saying I love the character, and when she died, I was legit defeated. Conclusion was so damn good. But, as much as good it was sad for me, but I had to take a breather from it. Also, another moment, though, was pretty much anytime Deku was on screen, the way he was treated like goddamn Spider-Man was pretty cool, and it makes sense because he's the one to defeat, Shigaraki, and kind of awful one, but, because, well, one for all and stuff, he's made that way. Then he has some go-to entrances after go-to entrances, bro, like, go-to panels, go-to attacks. That nigga is him, bro. That's how you treat him, goddamn main character. But who had to steal the shine from this nigga Deku? All Might, though! I'm sorry, Mecha All Might. Boy done upgraded his whole arsenal, and this is genius. You know why? Because as you know, All Might can barely fight after the previous Awful One fight. So it feels like he's just there to observe the students and pity himself. It sucked seeing him like that, and some of the students feel that way too. Like, who felt the way the most. You couldn't even stop Deku during the Vigilante arc, man. But don't fear now. That was the old All Might. The new All Might is here and back in the war. His new upgrade looked so badass, and I loved how he found inspiration in the students with the suit. That is a great touch to it, man. That rematch with Awful One, incredible. Nice, man. That shit was great. And, bro, he actually weakened Awful One, because if you don't know, he also got stronger too since that fight. And it was a goddamn back and forth shit going on with beautifully drawn panels to accompany with that. I thought that was dope. Unfortunately, All Might can't do it all, and he fell to defeat to the overpowered plot fuckery of Awful One. Which I might add too that I often despise most of my hero complaints because, well, it's kind of bullshit. But I understand the frustration with Awful One. Like, dude, this guy's a goddamn Chico, bro. He has a new counter, a new attack, a new power against his opponent. And while I get that's the point of his, character, Awful One, it does get annoying sometimes. And that is why someone had to put a stop to it. And that someone rose from the fucking dead, nigga, and his name is Great Explosion Murder God Dynamite! Ah, yes sir, my nigga so bad, bro. Now, I know I said a favorite moment like in this war, but this took, I'm talking about when he first came back, the Deku, the panel, like when they was younger, the parallels, man, the memories, and the way they look at each other. I know the shippers were going nuts when this happened, but nah, that shit was a beautiful moment, bro. And I remember I got like, I saw the little leak stuff, the whole community was hyped, man. I told y'all just wait and be patient, bro. That nigga's gonna come back, bro. And when he finally did, man, that shit was beautiful. Bakugo versus All For One is now one of my favorite fights in My Hero. Just look at these panels, bro. Look at these panels. Shout out to Ed Shot, W Sacrifice. I think he sacrificed himself. Shout out to Best Genius, the W Mentor, bro. That nigga Bakugo came back, and dude, you can see how golden this nigga is, bro. He was still in hella fucking pain, bro. Like, you remember when Luffy, I'm sorry, I hate to compare y'all for y'all getting my ass, bro. You remember when Luffy took all that pain from, like, you know, and Zoro took that shit? I'm sorry, it kind of reminded me of Bakugo and taking all that pain and still going crazy. Like, every inch he moved, that shit felt like true pain. But that nigga still got the job. That's that adrenaline shit, bro. And it proves you how he got that dog in him, bro. I'm telling you, Bakugo so goated. Let me just add, man, peak panel after peak panel. Like, dude, the artwork for Bakugo Off One's fight, that shit went nuts. And you can see how big this shit was. I have no words for it. It literally left me speechless. And the fact that he was the one to stop Off One, it just shows you how great and how far his character came. Like, he was the one to stop Shiggy, but he stopped the fucking next boss right there, bro. And of course it had help. Bakugo sealed the goddamn deal. And that's why I kind of left it at in the manga. And dude, that moment, also, I kind of teared up. In that final panel when they was fighting, I teared up because when they showed his mom and looking at his son, like, and he's doing, like, amazing. Dude, her reaction, I was like, oh, man. And it just hit me. It hit me, God. Like, man, this just is a beautiful moment. And when he finally defeated and raised his arm, he said he didn't want to fall down, but he raised his arm like he did it. Man, that shit, that shit, I'm getting chills. That shit literally gave me chills. The ending to that fight was amazing. Bakugo as a character, amazing. Peak fiction, bro. This literally, that's where it peaked, man. Again, holy shit, amazing. And I'm so glad I got the moment. Now, I think we're getting like in the end game for this final arc. Like, the final war is getting close to the end. And all that's left is Deku to, you know, do his thing with Shigaraki. I don't know how that's going to happen. I hope he doesn't, you know, never mind, bro. I'm gonna think positive, but like, yeah, so this war arc was like amazing. It's long, I would say it's definitely long. Reading Wrinkly did hurt a little bit, but like, it was worth it, bro. And like, we're seeing the end payoff right now. Great character conclusions, sad moments, beautiful moments, hype moments. Oh, and this glorious panel right here. Come on, bro. Like, I know it's part of the thumbnail, but this is probably one of my easily one of my favorite panels in My Hero all time. Like, this shit, and the color version too. Oh my god, amazing peak moment. I don't know how the anime's gonna do it, but like, I don't even care, man. This is a top tier manga moment. I love this war a lot, man, and definitely the ending made me love it even more. Now let's see how it finishes. So that being said, hope you enjoyed this video for my Hero fans and my other fans in general, man. Yeah, comment down below if you read the My Hero arc, if you caught up. Comment down below what you think about it. And yeah, with that being said, this is a long video, bro. I know it's gonna go this crazy, but I'll see y'all next time, man. Love y'all. Subscribe. I'm out, man. Oh, bye.